Albert, and this is I call this project as Oakland Redemption, and then it's located on Lake Merritt Northeast, right here. So my idea is to make Oakland City become a highly intelligent and highly active, by interflowing the relationship between beauty of the nature and active of the parkour and the preciseness of culinary. And I found interesting is the Vine, which is one of my major Vine system, and one of my skin structure. So Vine is located around the lake, wrapped around the columns on the structure of the library, and it's kind of I use this as part of my major structure, so kind of give a feeling of using the nature fading to part of the structure and the system. And the goose and the interaction between people and feeding dogs. I went to the site early in the 5:30 in the morning. I found out there's actually around 100, 150, 100 goose in the site, which is I found something interesting. And the bus stop is located on the 3 sides over here. And I created my own system by labeling each timing of each system, and my goal is trying to make each system is climbable. Everyone can go on top, so nothing is impossible for them to climb. So it's either extreme or easy for parkour beginner and advanced parkour runners. This is my architectural topography what I found interesting surrounding. I define because I'm looking for private and public area like a park. So I found, and then also the height of the structure. And what I found is the restaurants and the breakfast, lunch, dinner, bars, clubs, dance, nightlife, which is located around the map. And I make my own parkour routes for 3 different levels of parkour runners, which is advanced, beginner, and average parkour. So professional parkour runner, they will go through most of the city part, which is more difficult. As you see, the topography is high. The red part is more higher topography. The red part is more difficult. It's like a building, but it's parkourable. And the average, they go through little bit inside the city, but go out most of on the edges of the city. So which is a little bit difficult, a little bit hard. And the beginner, they just kind of parkour the park, very simple, just ground levels. As you've seen, just all around the lakes, and they all into the site right here. And for program, I use this program as a reference, and I reorganize it by the timing, which program started earliest to the latest, and then I reorganize it. The red part is the highly activity zone, and the yellow is low activity but still going on, and then the black is average. So how I form the roots of the path of the whole circulation, I use the ideal public routes. Like public will want to go to the gym early, and then after this I'm trying to make all the people go through all the highly activity zone by timing. So it was go to the gym early, and then go through the next hours, which is cafe, the highly activity zone, and kind of go around avoiding the low activity parts. And how I form the shapes of the building, I use parkour runners. They go through their own system, which is gym and all the system other than the for public, such as cafe and restaurants and culinary system, which is avoiding bothering and so students won't get bothered by the parkour runners while they are running over the roofs. And that's how I get the shape of it. And I started using the parkour movements and the goose, blending them by their action. Like this is ready to jump, this is ready to fly, and then I blend them how a parkour runner become a goose. And then I select the middle part, how the form is changing, becoming a goose, and form the shapes. That's how I get my patterns overall. And each pattern have their own definition. And how I form the bridge changing this part, I use one set of movements and blend it together, and how they change, how the form changes, stretching and jumping. So after getting all the structure, after getting all the shapes of it, I use highly activity zone. Because since it's highly activity zone, you need more space. So I put the structure in the higher structure, which is above 20 feet to 30 feet. So people have more space to work, and because since that have more activity. And then the low activity is around 50 or 15 feet or below. And the blend is just mediated, connecting between each of them. And just overlay, and then I break down this part, some form, and then depending on my mapping system, for example, wine tasting in restaurants, it's facing this part because most of the restaurants and bars are located on this road, and then the cafe is located on here because most of the cafe is over here. So during the people they can have better opportunity to go over here.
We're already
And this is my site plan and sections. So
now we get to run out of time.
and plan diagrams. Last one. So each system they have their own unique system, which is Culinary Academy. I use a exhaust air system to attract the public on the fourth side of the building, which is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. To attract the public who walk around here, and they can see, they get the sense of the smell of the cook, and they get attracted. They will see what's going on and bring all the people come into this place. And then wine tasting and restaurant, they're hybridized, which is this part. This private wine tasting and restaurants right here, and then this are restaurants and this are wine tasting. And then the gym is underneath, which is the glowing part, underneath the culinary, because since the diagram is overlapping, the timeline is overlap, so the culinary is on top of gym is on top of the gym. And they have their own bouldering system, which is they can climb it out to practice parkour. From there, you climb it out and exit from the poles. And cafe, they have all private sitting area.
Can you run us through like one scenario, one user, pick it, what kind of user it is that you have?
Yeah, sure.
Like a day.
Okay. For example, we have a competition, culinary competition. People, public who come to this place, which is a form of plaza right here, people sitting area, and culinary, they can start having their competition going on over here.
There's a pathway leading to that area?
It's actually all landscape. It's like sloping down, so it's formed like a grass blade, and like people can sit down here and form a plaza. And for parkour runner, because they end it right here.
Wait a second, the culinary person with that competition, they need a kitchen in which to make something. So can you, they just get to the plaza and that's when they start?
It's like an outdoor cooking competition. So they can use barbecues wherever they want to. And it's like limited. That's how it becomes a competition, because it's limited tools and become more excitement and
Well, I completely agree that it could be these rollable pits for barbecue, or I mean, all that's global, right? But at a certain point, you can store it. So I think it's just a really practical question about where is the square footage there for storage?
Right. So underneath right here, there's the office, and which is right here underneath the pathway. There's an office. They can store the food, and it's office is more like for public, like for people who is interested in joining the club, the gym, and the student of the culinary.
Well, maybe the culinary student wasn't a good example of this, I think. And then, if I understand your question correctly, is maybe it would be nice to see what happens if somebody really uses this structure.
Just tell the whole scenario.
Like how public people want.
Okay, when they're done with that competition, what else?
Okay.
What's the next step? What do they do?
Or I can give an example of how people. Right. So people walk into this space. My goal is everything will lead into the end of this plaza. So everything they've done, they get out here, they can get out here, and then get down here, and they can walk over and walk down here. And when they finish their cafe, which is the stairs, they can, and then private sitting area, they can see the whole thing going on. They can, and then.
No, it's different to show us everything. I want to understand, how do I get to that plaza in your plan? Like, there's the path nearby. Exactly, how do I walk to go to the cafe, for instance? That's a scenario. I'm going there to go to the cafe. I'm coming down the lake shore. So how does that happen? Don't show me everything.
Okay.
I'm going there. Give me an option of a route to go there.
Yeah. People can walk in here, and then they're gonna go into this tunnel and then follow this bridge, and then enter this cafe.
Where's the floor area?
This right here. Open it, and then they can actually disconnect it.
So if I was this person,
Don't do it.
It's okay.
Well, we can
yeah,
imagine it. We can
take it off and you shared this. I think it's wonderful.
Don't do it.
It's glue. I'll glue it back for you.
Yeah.
So if you were this person,
Okay.
how would you operate?
All right.
There's perforations on the surface. How do I walk on that surface?
You're that person right here.
Okay. So people who go to wine tasting, they walk in here. There's a stairs, channel stairs, L-shaped stairs. They can walk out here and then they can go on this little plaza, and they can either go to the culinary from there, or they can enter this, which is interacting with restaurants. They can see what's going on down to the restaurants, and which is good for parkour runner, because parkour runner is becoming.
But that's another sensitive
Okay,
scenario.
all right. I'll go
Going
back.
to the cafe.
Alright, they can go in here and they can see what's going on down to the restaurants, and then they can walk up here, how the form, they can feel the form, how the form changing by one system to other system, by like parkour movements, which form changing, blending, stretching, and then
We're here, and then that's still floor.
yes,
That's a
there's
ramp.
well, it's like a half ramp. Like it's not super difficult because it's for public, but it's a little bit for like a little bit slow for parkour.
Okay. So then
And
we end
that's
up
the
in the cafe.
and then they can order here and they can see the whole view in the 360 people who's parkouring around the whole system. Or they can go into more quiet area, which is private sitting area, and then with sitting there and doing their private practice.
Okay, I mean, maybe we should start talking about the overall systems and operating principles. And I think you've walked us through them very well. It would be fantastic to have one sheet that shows how they all happened and what they all meant. Because to me, it's very hard to understand what the principles ended up where and what they do in order to achieve the overall project. And I think that's what makes a person like, where do they come from? And my other comment is that it's surprising with all this complexity, and I can see